It's good to see you.
What is up, you guys? This is All Day Any Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be ranking Scarlet Witch out of 100 points. So, what the topics are for her to be ranked out of, or not just her, but for every character, is damage output, meaning general damage and just all damage, her survivability, versatility, AOE effectiveness, single target effectiveness, resources, crowd control effectiveness, trials, meaning heroic, superheroic, and cosmic trials, farming effectiveness, and support effectiveness, and then you have your total score. So for the damage output, I gave Scarlet Witch an 85. The reason why I gave her an 85 is because she has nice one-shot capabilities. Her one-shot capabilities are really useful, but that doesn't give you a specific damage number. And I'm not gonna count that as an actual damage output, because when it comes down to crowd control enemies or crowd control immune enemies and bosses, all that's gonna do is just stun them. It's not gonna really damage them much. I mean, it will do a good few damage, but then again, that's your signature. Um, but her damage in general is okay, I suppose. I mean, not okay. It's above average, basically. She can still dish out nice AOE and decent single target damage. When it comes down to fighting crowd control immune enemies and bosses, she can hold her weight. She can dish out the damage, but she just is not a top tier, in my opinion, not a top tier damage dealer. But when it comes to enemies that are not crowd control and non-bosses, she takes the cake on that. For her survivability, I gave her an 85 as well on that, due to the fact that she's a very squishy character, but she does have a couple abilities that let her, become a little more survivable. She has Ravenous Binding, which gives her healing, and then when you use the talent for Ravenous Binding, that gives you rapid heal. That helps out even more, meaning you basically get 20% health back per second, and I believe it lasts for 6 to 8 seconds. So that's really, really useful, and it's not just for you, but it's for your whole team as well. So that's really, really useful to have. But other than that, I mean, if she gets hit by one heavy attack or two heavy attacks, she can get pretty much killed in a couple seconds if you're not careful. So that one is an 85 as well. Her versatility, I gave her an 80 for that. The reason why I gave her an 80 is because versatility, it means, you have to have more than just one or two effective builds. Like, I mean effective builds as in a build that can pretty much compete with a build that is popular, with the build that everyone is using. The build that I'm talking about is her one-shot AOE farming build. That one seems to be the most effective build when it comes down to just playing the game or playing her. I've tried using her support build. Her support build isn't bad, but she's just better off playing as a DPS slash support or just straight DPS. But yeah, I just gave her an 80 because she can still play a little versatile in other aspects of her abilities, using her other abilities and whatnot, but it's just not as equal, or it's not going to do as much damage as she should be. So that one's an 80. Her AOE effectiveness, I gave that a straight 100. Now, the only problem, like I said, is the crowd control immune enemies, but other than that, AOE is the whole area of effect. So she has really, really, really good AOE abilities. She pretty much all of her abilities are all AOE. She has Chaos Rift, she's got Chaos Warp, Iron Maiden, Ravenous Binding, Chaotic Hex, just everything. So that's why I gave her a 100 on that, because she's all AOE. She's all AOE. Now for her single target effectiveness, I gave her an 80. Because she has straight AOE abilities doesn't mean she can't put out single target damage as well. her single target is not as strong as someone else's. For example, like Blade's single target. Um, but she can still help out with bosses and whatnot because when the thing is when she has full chaos energy, her abilities become even stronger. And when she uses chaotic hex, I believe that's what it's called. Let me see. Yeah, chaotic hex. It shoots out all five of those bolts. It shoots out five bolts, and they all do like really nice damage. So that's a really good single target ability. And Beast from Beyond also can be a single target ability if there's no enemies in that radius. And then Ravenous Binding can immobilize enemies as well. And Iron Maiden is really good for really any enemies, bosses, single target, or just groups of enemy. Because what it does is it basically reflects damage in a way, not necessarily reflects, but or deflects. It's whenever an enemy is affected by Iron Maiden, then the the damage dealer, the enemy that's trying to do damage, I suppose, will also take damage while dealing or while attacking. So that can also be a really good single target. So that is why I gave Scarlet Witch an 80 on her single target effectiveness. Now on Scarlet's resources, I gave her a 90. She doesn't necessarily use resources, but she does have chaos energy as her resource. So she can use her abilities regardless of having chaos energy, but when she does have chaos energy, she uses quite a lot of chaos energy, and yeah, so that's why I gave her 90. She uses quite a bit of chaos energy. You pretty much want to stack up a lot of chaos energy if you're farming. I mean, if you're going about farming and whatnot, you're gonna want to stack up on chaos energy. Uh, but yeah, like I said, she doesn't need to have chaos energy in her builds or in her for to use her abilities. But if you want to hit harder or farm more effective, then she needs chaos energy. The next thing is her crowd control effectiveness. So I gave that a 95. The reason why I gave her a 95 on crowd control effectiveness is because her crowd control effectiveness is only one shots. She doesn't have much stuns. I think she's got one ability that stuns, and it's like for 1 or 2 seconds. She's got immobilize, which is not bad at all either. But other than that, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that is all she really has is stun, immobilize, and the one shot. The one shot is a big reason why I gave her 95 though, because when you're farming, like I said, or not just farming, but even if you're at a boss and there's a bunch of ads and they're not crowd control immune, if you have a Scarlet Witch, she's going to take those ads out right away, which is going to be super useful when you're trying to farm out artifacts and whatnot. Um, but yeah, that's why I gave her a 95. She was close to 100, but just not quite there yet. For her trials, I gave Scarlet a 90. The reason why I gave her a 90 is because her one-shot capability is disabled in there. So, but then again, it would obviously make the trials completely easy. That would have given her a straight 100 too, though. But other than that, I gave her a 90 because she she does have to switch up her build, and not just that, which is fine, but like I said, she is a pretty squishy character, so you really want to try to get your survivability up as well for her. Kind of gear dependent when it comes to trials, but other than that, other outside of trials, she's not a gear dependent character. For her farming effectiveness, I gave her a 98. The reason why I gave her a 98 is because like I said, she can take out mobs right away, real quick. She can farm perfectly when you're farming shield supply boxes and you're farming your number count for the bonus chest. She can do all that. But once you get to the boss on operation, whatever, unless you're super well geared out, you're not going to take the boss out extremely quick. And when I mean by farming effectiveness, I mean how fast can you complete your operation from start to begin, from beginning to end. Um, Not just for shield supply boxes. I mean, the shield supply boxes also count towards farming because you are farming for that. Um, But yeah, her farming effectiveness, I gave her 98. It's just in between the 95 and the 100. I would have given her 100 if only she wasn't super gear dependent on being able to dish out a ton of damage. Her support effectiveness, I gave her 90 just because the only support she really has is her Ravenous Binding, which immobilizes enemies, and it can also heal allies as well, rapid heal. That was like her main support effectiveness ability. She does have a confuse ability, but that one seems to not work that well for some reason compared to other characters like Angela or Squirrel Girl when they use their confuse. Um, she also has a shield that can reduce the damage taken, but you have to be inside the shield, and it lasts for 6 seconds, I believe. But yeah, other than that, I gave her a nice 90 support effectiveness. And then for her total points, she racked up to an 89.3, which is still really, really, really good. That's a high score for really a good any character. I mean, it'd be unlikely to see a character score over a 95, in my opinion, because that means they have to be getting 95 to 100 or like a 93 to 100 on most of their points. So an 89.3 is a really, really high score for her. So if you're thinking about picking Scarlet up, I would say, go for it because she's still a really good character to have. Especially when you're farming. If you plan on farming a lot, she's definitely going to be a character you're going to want to pick up because, in my opinion, she is the best farming character to have. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure she's going to score the highest out of all the characters in the game for farming effectiveness. But yeah, so if this video helped you out at all, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, let me know as well. I will be I will be uploading more videos later down the road. I'm just going to be going with the ones that I know that I have played hours of, and not necessarily min-max because I don't have every character min-max, but I played a bunch of characters and played around with their builds and whatnot. So I'll be posting those characters. There's a couple of characters I haven't played around with, so just if you ask about them, um, don't feel like I'm ignoring that question, ignoring or putting it off. It's just that I haven't played them enough to actually give them a score yet, like I guess an equal or fair score. So yeah. But like I said, if this video helps you out, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and this is all day any day one on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.